2 for 5s over here, baby. Word up, 2 for 5s. Them niggas got garbage down the way. Word up.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream it.
Yeah.
Alright guys, what's going on? Week 1 of the NFL season is officially in the books. A lot of great games. I hope everyone was watching. A lot of close ones down to the wire. And it also means that fantasy football is in full swing. So we got about 4 months of non-stop fantasy football. So let's get right into it. I don't want to waste your time. We're going to start with Jordan, who had the high score of the week, beating Joey 168.1 to 122.5. They pretty much each had 3 guys just throw their teams on their back. Jordan had Andrew Luck, Spencer Ware, and Larry Fitzgerald just crush it for him. Joey had Rodgers, C.J. Anderson, and Antonio Brown crush it for him, but not to the extent that Jordan's guys did. So those 3 guys on each team pretty much just threw the squad on their back. Everyone else was pretty so-so at best. Gonna move on to the Cincinnati Harambe's. Barnesy beats Dave 142.1 to 122.2. Barnesy got big weeks out of D'Angelo Williams and A.J. Green. They accounted for half of his points. And Dave had pretty solid weeks from everyone. Not a great week from really anyone. David Johnson did well against New England, unfortunately. But that's pretty much it for Dave. Then we'll transition to the Buttsex Bandits beating Garrett 135.4 to 108.4. Garrett got the low score of the week. Kirk Cousins and the rest of his team were pretty not great. No one got into the 20s for him. Meanwhile, Steve had pretty solid weeks out of Ben Roethlisberger and Doug Baldwin, and then average weeks from everyone else, but still gets a good score on the week. Next, we're going to go to Sean beating me 128.7 to 111.2. He pretty much had average weeks like Steve. No one really killed it for him, but he got enough to beat me because Kobe Fleener and Blake Bortles and Todd Gurley shit the bed for me. So, not a great way to start my season. Thought I had a better team than that. And finally, we'll end it with Willie beating John 118.6 to 117.4. Spoiler alert, Willie gets the Dumb Luck Award once again. Not a surprise there. Pretty much the only person who did anything for him was Drew Brees, but luckily it was enough to beat John for him. So. Sexy and I know it. Alright, the start of the week for week 1 is going to be Barnesy's A.J. Green. As Brian Billick put it, he was sipping Mai Tais on Revis Island. 12 catches, 180 yards, and a touchdown, 36 points for Barnesy. Great way to start it off. I'm a loser, baby. Alright, the dud this week is going to be a whole position group. It's going to be the tight ends in our starting lineups. Half of them stayed in single digits. Gary Barnidge put up a goose egg for Barnesy. Kobe Fleener gave me 1.6. The best was Sean's waiver wire pickup. Jason Witten got him 15.6. So overall, a very disappointing start for what's supposed to be a very important position in fantasy football. Okay, so obviously it's week 1, so it's a little early to be giving out waiver wire pickups, and no one really had one that was all that spectacular, so I'm just going to give it to someone who you picked late and played great in the draft. So I'm going to give it to Spencer Ware, who Jordan got in the 12th round of the draft. He had 7 catches for 129 yards from a running back is ridiculous, especially in PPR. And he also threw in a rushing touchdown and 70 rushing yards. So 32.9 points from a guy who Jordan only played out of necessity is not bad at all.
You know what? This is bullshit. This is bullshit.
Alright, so this is an easy one. John lost his 2nd round pick. Keenan Allen, supposed to be one of the best receivers in the league, tore his ACL in the first half of the first game. Doesn't get much worse than that. So John's 2nd round pick, his total contribution to the season will be 12.3 points. Sorry, John, that's about as shitty as it gets.
It's a story about a girl named Lucky.
So I spoiled this one earlier, but I don't think anyone was really guessing too hard about it. It's obviously Willie. He's making sure he holds on to this title for as long as he can. His namesake is on it. 1.2 point victory, a pretty low score, one of the bottom 4. So it doesn't get any luckier than that. Per usual, Willie's just pulling wins out of his ass. If it weren't for Drew Brees, he probably would have scored like 40 points, but thanks to Drew Brees, he's able to edge out John, who obviously lost one of his best players early, so John probably would have won if Keenan Allen just stayed in the game.
Man, I feel like a woman.
I'm sure you guys all remember the Jordan Squatswally Peas Honor. That's the award I give to anyone who pisses me off, annoys me, rubs me the wrong way, whatever it may be. So it's a very fluid thing. It varies from week to week. But this week it's going to the LA Rams and Jeff Fisher. I don't know if you guys stayed up to watch that game last night, but it was a brutal display of football. They made Blaine Gabbert, Chip Kelly and the 49ers look like the 85 Bears. The Rams looked like a mighty might team. Oh, it was just terrible. Every single time on first down, second down, it's clearly going to Gurley. They don't do anything to disguise it. Gurley's in the backfield. They have everyone on the line of scrimmage to block. So the 49ers, of course, stack the line of scrimmage themselves, stuff him on most of the plays because the whole world sees it coming. And then on third down, Case Keenum throws a ball in the dirt. They scored 0 points against the 49ers. Terrible defense. It was pitiful. It was pathetic. How does Jeff Fisher still have a job? Like, is he still riding the wave of the friggin' 99 Super Bowl that he got to 17 years ago that he lost? He didn't even win it. And he still somehow has a job just because of that, I guess. He's been terrible with the Rams. If his name was, I'm not even going to get into it. He's awful. He screwed me so bad. But anyway, that's week 1 is in the books. Don't overreact. It's only 1 week, so if you had a great week, don't start thinking you're a world beater. If you had a bad week, don't start thinking the world's coming to an end and you have to revamp your entire team. It's only week 1. Don't overreact. Anyway, that's the podcast. Good luck to everyone next week. Deuces.